Right, so I'm gonna head down there. But I am a freaking idiot because I said I was gonna talk to the other people first. To find out what I should, what they know of him. And then I just, went down into the sewer because, I'm an idiot. So I'm gonna head back to the West End. Gather all the information I can. If anyone else knows anything. But the fact that I could ask... I don't remember his name. The butler. But the fact that I could ask him makes me think that everyone else knows something about him as well. Which I should definitely be looking at. So, who's here that I can talk to? This way, maybe? Yeah, this should be right. Hello?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
Yes, excellent.
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
He used to be a big spender. One day, he sent 3 houseboys to buy all the beluga in my shop. For his brother's birthday, if I remember correctly.
I see. Anything else? Less gastronomic, perhaps?
I really can't say. The man is filthy rich. But you know that, of course.
Okay,
I
yes,
may
brother.
have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
What have you got? White phosphorus. Honestly, I don't really know what I need. Quinine. That I know I need. Opium? Yes. I'll buy some opium. Thank you. I think those are the things I'm running low on.
Women of all countries unite!
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
What do you know about Aloysius Dawson?
That man is a tyrant. The embodiment of greed and selfishness. All I despise about this country.
Fair enough.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Okay. And there's that old war buddy. Here he is, Clarence.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Well, I've discovered he's quite versed in occult knowledge. So I wrote him a letter asking him to finance my research about vampires. He never responded.
Okay.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Okay, what about the woman who wants to eat rats? Where is she? Not sure where that leads. There she is. She's insane. I don't know if she can help, but I can at least make her healthy.
Rats. Tasty rats. Those clever rodents are cautious now. They won't approach.
I need to find information about Aloysius Dawson. What can you tell me about him?
Don't trust him. He's looking for the same thing I was. Rats? No, not rats. Something else. I don't remember.
Can I help you, Miss Billow? I'm a doctor.
Yes, you can help me. Free me.
I will take that as a yes, even if I would prefer to help you in another way.
Make him stop. Please.
Jesus.
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.
I would like to help her. There are so many people I haven't met here. Alright, I'm gonna wander around the West End for a bit. And I also see that I have new dialogue options here. Maybe he can give me some information on Aloysius, as they're now calling him. Oh, look at this. This is a whole area I haven't been before. Well, I lied before, didn't I? When I said this was the only place. But I'm going to explore quite a bit around here, see if I can find any more people. Because there's a lot of people that I haven't met yet, so says the menu. So I'm going to explore and see who I can find. I seem to have found a very nice park. Ah! Perhaps it's not such a nice park after all. It's got wild beasts roaming around it. But maybe there's somebody in distress over here or something. Alright, I don't remember having been here before. Look at this. Alright. Who wants to kick some butt? Gonna have to find a way to get upstairs. Okay, locked. That's locked. Oh, no way to smash through that.
It's one of them!
Where are you? Bye-bye. Okay, hello? Okay, a restaurant. This is actually kind of nice if it weren't for all the blood. It's a nice little shopping area. There's more things downstairs, but this is a whole area of the West End I haven't been, so this is good. Okay, let's head downstairs. Bloody handprints. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, we've got some skulls. Good.
More Braille. I should bring
Oh,
this to
fantastic.
Mason Swanborough.
Yes, yes, you should. How many does that mean I have? I think that's 3? Yeah, I brought him 2. That makes 3. $5. Just stole from the cash register. Just a couple shillings. Okay. Came in this way, so then let's go out this way.
It ain't you! What?
Okay, We've got a rogue skull this way. Alright, we've got a lot of things going on over here, but we'll do what we can. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Ah, crap. Good, let's do that. Shit. Couldn't get out of that one. Still can't. Anyone else? Does that ever benefit me? No, there's never anything in them. Okay, what's this? Oh, I've been here before. Oh, this is where, okay, I remember. This is where that one guy was being held captive. Alright, I found the guy that I rescued the night before. So let's talk to him.
We meet again, Mr. Kimura. In a more peaceful situation.
Dr. Reed. Still visiting London by night?
We must both be nocturnal animals, you and I. After your captivity, I thought you'd be more cautious.
Breathing the cold night air helps calm my mind, sir. I've had the most frightening nightmares since I escaped that filthy jail.
I would imagine.
How is the situation in the West End?
I've heard rumors about armed men patrolling and fighting infected citizens in these very streets. I was lucky they didn't shoot me when I was abducted.
May I ask you what you do for a living, Mr. Kimura?
I was a landlord. A wealthy one. And not a very kind one, I realized recently.
Why this sudden epiphany? Is it because of your near-death experience?
I was already feeling nostalgic about Weymouth, my hometown. With recent events, I'm thinking about going back there.
I find wealthy landlords are never very nice. It's how they get wealthy.
What can you tell me about your abduction?
If you really want to know, I was locked in that building for 3 or 4 days. My jailer was insane, mumbling about sacrifice and voices.
Pleasant.
And why didn't he sacrifice you?
That was the weirdest part. He claimed to spill blood was not enough. It had to be done when some stars were aligned.
Which stars?
That's the whole point. He wanted me to talk to him about some Red Queen configuration or constellation. I've never heard of such an astronomical term.
Nor have I.
What did he say about voices?
He constantly whined about the voice of his master, ordering him to do terrible things. He wanted to silence the voice by offering blood. My blood.
Sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it, Jonathan?
Why are you so nostalgic for your hometown, Tadao?
I was focused so much on making money, I almost forgot that my relatives and friends are threatened by this epidemic.
Have you heard anything from your family?
I was not only a bad landlord, I was also a bad husband. I've not seen my wife and son for years. Busy, busy, busy.
At least now you're ready to go back and see them. But don't be surprised if your son bears a grudge, sir.
You make it sound like you suffered from an absent father yourself, Dr. Reed. Well, I'll keep your warning in mind.
Have you no friends at all?
Over the years, I'm afraid my greed turned me into my friend's adversary, while I became friends with my professional rivals.
Those you grew up with didn't share your views on money and success.
Would you believe I was once a member of poetry circles and an astronomy club? We were young, such joyful dreamers then, but I stopped laughing long ago.
Oh, look at that.
Can you change? And is it what you really want? If so, it must come from within, not without.
I've seen what an altruistic gesture can do. Nothing forced you to save me, Dr. Reed, but you did. I will follow your example in these matters from now on.
There is no need to thank me. Rescuing a London citizen should not be out of the ordinary, though I'm afraid it may appear so in these difficult times.
You did not only rescue me, you fought for me. You put your life in danger to save me. That's quite extraordinary.
How will you cope if you're attacked again?
I don't know. I've heard about these men and women who patrol the West End every night, chasing criminals like my abductor. Maybe I should join them.
Wouldn't suggest it. I'd have to kill you.
Tell me, Tadao, why was your abductor so interested in your passion for astronomy?
I dunno. We met a few times at the Royal Greenwich Observatory. He seemed to share my hobby. Then he invited me to his house and locked me in.
Yes, astronomy is a fascinating subject. When I was a child, my mother bought a small telescope for my sister and I. We spent many a pleasant evening stargazing.
Stars are not just dots in the sky, Doctor. They are the key to our understanding of the cosmos. They remind us how insignificant we are.
You're right. But children love magic and stories. I remember our mother told us constellations have the power to protect us.
Protection by the light of the stars. That's sweet. You remember the name of these constellations?
Cygnus. The constellation that was supposed to protect Mary.
Memory's a strange thing. I can recite without hesitation the names of the 88 constellations, yet I barely remember my own childhood.
Well, a lot of people's childhood sucks. So you might be better off not remembering it.
Did he fake his interest in astronomy to get close to you?
No. In his madness, he spoke about a blood sacrifice to be made to his master when the stars aligned to a specific configuration.
Doesn't seem to be anything else.
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson, by any chance?
Well, I've never met the man personally, but I invested money in some of his companies when I came to London. A brilliant businessman.
Damn it.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care.
Is there anything to connect me to this city anymore?
I keep hoping someone will have some information. Right, this is all still part of the West End. Oh, this is Finsbury Gate. Alright, I haven't done a ton of exploring down this way. Oh, I've seen that before. Got a hint about him. Maybe he can tell me where his house is? Can meet his wife?
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
Closer than you realize.
Clarence, I'm your friend, so I'm not going to judge you. But think about your wife, your family. You're in pain, and you need help. I can help you.
I don't need a doctor, Jonathan. I need my best friend to trust me.
Oh, fine. Whatever.
Tell me what you have discovered about vampires, Clarence.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough, you realize others know about these devils too. I'm not alone.
Have you shared your research with anybody else?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city, hoping that someday someone will realize I'm printing the truth.
What do you mean you're not alone? Who have you met?
The Guard of Prewin, the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, Ichabod Throckmorton. Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather all the information you can find about vampires and bring it to me. You're the only friend I have left. I need you.
Okay. I think that's everything now. Since I failed the, what's it called? Can I go
Clarence,
back and fix it?
Why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
Clarence, I'm your friend, so I'm not going to judge you.
I don't need a doctor, Jonathan. I need my best friend to trust me.
I tried just to see what his reaction would be, but I can't.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
I already spoke to her. This is the other way. Yes.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny, I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was going to bed, actually.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son.
Ooh, you must have some good loot.
Such a beautiful family.
It's a really nice house, actually.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
I'll wander
Always
around,
welcome
then I'll
here.
talk to her.
At this hour of night?
This is a huge bedroom. A bed and bath. Alright, I take it back. In 1918, it was probably nice. It's gotta give us some clues to her. Or about him, whoever. That would be outside. Alright, Venus. You must talk to me now.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
Hope you don't mean that literally.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan, please accept my condolences for your sister.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden. And I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Actually, I don't think he mentioned Mary. I figured he didn't know.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Or the men at war. Just saying.
Tell me about Clarence's obsession with vampires.
It drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt. I was so relieved to have him back. But I quickly realized he'd lost his mind in France.
I understand your irritation, Venus. But you have to accept the trauma Clarence endured on the battlefield.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my husband mad? Yes or no? Do vampires exist? Or is Clarence a lunatic?
So you don't believe Clarence?
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince you of the existence of bloody vampires, would you have believed her? Seriously?
The important question is, What do you really think of your husband?
I'm tough, Jonathan. He should have told me the horrors he witnessed, however appalling it was, instead of inventing a fantasy about blood-drinking monsters.
What do you think about Clarence squandering his fortune on his obsession?
Soon we'll be poor, and forced to sell the house. Where will we go? In which filthy, infected part of town will we end up? I'm so afraid.
Of course you are.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I never met the man. I know Clarence tried to contact him recently, but I don't know why.
Goodbye for now.
Yeah, there are 2 hints. And I have neither.